All right, we just talked about adverbs, so we are ready to practice in our student skill practice book. We are turning to page 61. Page 61. All right. And try that again. All right, here we go, page 61. So let's just refresh our smart brains. It says we are going to read the story. We're going to circle each adverb. Remember, an adverb describes how, where, and when something is done, right? And then it wants us to underline the verb. The verb is an action. It is something that you can do, okay? So we will do this one together today. Princess Penny sat sadly by her castle window. All right, I see a verb, I see an action word. What is Princess Penny doing? She sat, right? How did she sit? Well, right next to it, it describes how she sat. She sat sadly. Do you notice how it ends in the ly? All right, let's look at the next one. She was a happy girl, but today she cried. Well, I do see a verb, an action. She cried, right? Does it describe how she cried? No. Does it describe where she cried? No. Does it describe when she cried? When did she cry? She cried today. Okay, let's look at the next one. Her favorite horse, Cooper, had disappeared. Let's think about that one. The action. What happened? Cooper disappeared. But does it describe how he disappeared? No. Where? No. When? Not really. I don't think that one has an adverb. Do you? Penny missed him terribly. All right, what's the action here? What's the verb? Underline the verb. You should have underlined missed. Okay, well, let's think. How did she miss him? Is that described? She missed him terribly. Suddenly, she heard a noise. What's the action? What's the verb there? Heard, right? Does it describe how she heard it? No. Where she heard it? No. When? Suddenly. Remember, also, a lot of times adverbs end in that what? ly. She looked outside and saw Cooper. You're back, she shouted joyfully. It's jumping out at me. Go ahead and circle that, underline that verb. Shouted. How did she shout? Joyfully, right? She ran downstairs and hugged him tightly. All right. She ran downstairs and hugged him tightly. What do you think? Well, hugged is our action, right? And tightly describes it. What do you think? All right. How do you feel about it? Pretty good? Let's look at the next part. Read each sentence. Circle the adverb. Write whether it tells how, where, or when. All right, we've got 3 more to do. Penny gently stroked Cooper's mane. What's the adverb here? Well, we can still work backwards. Let's find the verb. Stroked is the verb. What describes stroked? Gently, right? And does gently describe how, where, or when? Write it down. It describes how. Penny rode Cooper around. Okay. What's the verb here? Rode, right? All right. Let's see. We need to find, we need to find the adverb. Rode. Does it tell us how she rode? No. Does it tell us where she rode? What's the describing word for where? Around. And then our last one. Later they returned to the barn. All right, what is the verb? What's the action word? Underline it. Returned, right? What describes returned? What do you think the adverb is? Later, right? And does that describe how? No. Where? No. What does it describe? When? All right. That is it, boys and girls. That is a little mini lesson on verbs and adverbs. We will meet again tomorrow to do a little bit more practice, and then you will be adverb experts. All right. Good job today.